Hey, I've got a great treat for you today. I recently spoke with Moses, our dear friend from Rwanda, who works with World Relief. Now, he's been here a number of times to speak with us, and also quite a few of you have had a chance to go and work alongside him in Rwanda. Now, we've been partnering with World Relief since 2013 as one of our global compassion partners. And what we actually do is we support churches and volunteers and a number of staff in the area of Nyamasheke, which is a district in the southwest part of the corner of the country. We also, in that area, there is a specific geographic region that they've designated as a church empowerment zone. And so that's where we get to spend our resources. Now, World Relief, really at the heart of what they do is empowering and equipping the local church. And they do that in exceptional ways. It's excellent work and transformative. When I spoke to Moses the other day, I just asked that he share a quick update of what's been going on in his context, and this is what he had to say.
Maraho.
Maraho neza Tracy, amakuru.
Nimeza. Moses, thank you. It's great to see you this morning, this evening for you. Thanks for spending some time with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me on this call, Tracy.
It's great to see you. You're a great friend. I know many at our church will be happy to see you and to hear what's happening. Why don't we go ahead and start? What has been happening in Rwanda in terms of COVID? How has this pandemic impacted your nation?
Yes, it's been a difficult season, Tracy. Since March 15 up to mid-May, we were in total lockdown. But of late, we've started to see some partial openings. People are required to put on face masks all the time whenever they're out. Church buildings are still closed. Weddings, you can't have more than 30 people, even burials, you can't go over 30. Curfew, 9 p.m. everyone should be at home, and then we are open again 5 a.m. In the morning. As of today, we've at least had 1,210 cases, and over 500 people of those are still sick and under treatment. So it's a difficult season, but doing the best we can to cope up with the situation. Yeah.
Absolutely. And what about in terms of you and your team? How has that really impacted what you guys are able to accomplish in terms of the ministry around your areas that you serve?
Yeah, it's been very difficult. One of the districts that neighbors Nyamasheke Church Empowerment Zone, for those that have been there, Rusizi district, where the team stay, is under total lockdown up to now because of the high number of COVID cases there. And most of our staff, at least 50% of our staff that work in the Nyamasheke Church Empowerment Zone, live there. So they can't come to work until a foreseeable time when we'll have the openings again. But that has caused us to think creatively. It's been very difficult for the staff because it's heartbreaking to see a big number of people that depend on daily income that can't get the income to meet their basic needs. So it has been heartbreaking to see the most vulnerable even getting to be more vulnerable. So what we've done is really to provide food for them, for those that really need, and we worked with the churches to provide that. And then providing agriculture inputs, because yes, you can have food for today, but they will need the food for the next season, and we've embarked on those efforts, but also the behavior change and communication messaging around COVID-19 prevention. So we had to build new tools and new training manuals to give to the church leaders and the volunteers in the communities. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. It's so interesting, hey, as you share what's happening in Nyamasheke, where we actually support that there's people who work in the district, or they live in the district next door and they can't even get to work because of that barrier. I can't imagine if people here who lived in Blackfalds or in Sylvan Lake couldn't come to Red Deer because of that barrier. So it's interesting to have that idea.
Yeah. We also actually even have some pockets in the city of Kigali where they're still under total lockdown because of the cases within those communities.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I know there's lots of difficult news. What about, are there stories of hope? Is there a story you can share with us today?
Yes. I think in the midst of this, and let me speak specifically about Nyamasheke. The pastors there have been really incredible to work with. It's been encouraging in the midst of the difficult season to see pastors that hugely depend on the offering and the tithes that come, that even during this period, they've been willing to give. You know, they've mobilized their members and say, we are going to do our best with the resources God has given us to really care for the most vulnerable. And that is only possible because of unity and collaboration. To see pastors helping other pastors, it has been really a wonderful thing to be part of.
You know, that's always something that impacts me when I'm there, is just seeing how people who don't have as much as I would hope they would have are still able to give way more than I would expect them to give. There's this beautiful thing that happens, and to know that the pastors that you and I get to have relationship with and work with are doing that and practicing that is beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you.
So Moses, as a church, we like to spend time praying over our partners and praying for what's happening. Can you give us some prayer points that we can be praying for you and your team in this next period?
Yes, I think pray for the staff, the pastors, and the volunteers for the health and safety as they're on the front line. That is important, but also pray for the churches and the pastors to have, I think even the entire team here, to constantly discern and pursue God's will in the midst of this difficult season.
Great. Moses, thank you so much. I pray that you and your family and the team will stay well, and we will be praying with you. Also, just know that we are with you. I know we can't physically be with you, but we are with you in spirit, and we so value the work and ministry that you guys are doing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we miss being with you.
One of the many things that I deeply value about World Relief is how committed they are to partnership, and they do it so well, and they've taught us so much. Do you know that every single Friday, the World Relief Rwanda team gathers and they do staff devotions together, and on those days they pray specifically for our church, which is incredible. So I'm just asking that we would do the same, that we would reciprocate and pray for them as Moses has requested of us. Thank you so much. Have a great week.